What's up, guys, gals? Griever here, bringing you guys Ayakashi Triangle chapter number 33. Now, alright, so this chapter is another basically meh. It's another fluff. It's another transitional chapter. This is one of my biggest problems, of course, with this manga series, is that they seem to morph it into a slice of life without really that being the initial premise or intention. But it doesn't mean that the chapter was bad, but it was just another fluff chapter. It was just, let's put them in a situation, let's put romantic tension, hilarity ensues, let's have the love triangle, the love square, if you will, now, because we have Rio, we have Suzu, we have Ninokoro, and of course we have Matsuri, you know, sort of at the center of it all. But yeah, so it's more like a square now because Ninokoro doesn't know how to handle Matsuri being in frilly underwear. Suzu doesn't want to lose to Rio. Rio's there just going like, I don't care if Matsuri's a guy. I can swing whatever way you want, you know, being very 2021, like, yeah, you rock on, you know. So this chapter, honestly, I mean, what is there to say? It's hilarity ensues. I will say that what ends up happening, and I'm sure you guys already know, is that Susan wants to talk to Garaku all about the Ayakashi medium. I mean, they're both already 15 and stuff, and so was she. She was 16, yet she claimed she was way stronger, like way more powerful than Suzu. So Suzu wants to talk about this and try to figure out, how do I unlock more power, how do I get stronger, etc., etc., etc. That all makes sense, and I'm getting the very Kagome Kikyo sort of vibe here from Inuyasha, which, once again, I believe I've said this before, but every time I mention Inuyasha, like, Kirby Morrow, the voice of Moroku, sadly passed away in November of 2020, and I'm still feeling for that. I really am, because that's a voice that I grew up with. I grew up with Vision of Escaflowne and stuff, and Inuyasha is sort of my gateway animes. And his voice was one of the main voices, of course, in both of those shows. So Kurumoro passing away at 47 is very, very sad. But so yeah, outside of that, we still get that Inuyasha vibe here, and that's why I brought that up. But it's a little tweaked here because it's not both focused on Matsuri. Matsuri and Suzu have both figured out their feelings very early on in this manga. Now, if this was a one-shot or something like that was only going to be 20 chapters, I wouldn't worry about it. You're going to have to speed the pacing along. But they both realize this. It's just that they won't tell one another. So we're going to go on that train for a while, right? Which I don't necessarily mind, because this is a little bit of a different wrench than Inuyasha, in the sense that it's not the reincarnation and the original are both in love with the same guy. It's quite, in fact, quite different, because the original one, Garaku, is in love not with Suzu, but the original Ayakashi medium, or the one from 150 years ago, I should say. And Suzu is not in love with Garaku. Suzu is in love with Matsuri. But Matsuri is a girl, so it's a whole, like, we're doing Ranma half mixed with Inuyasha reincarnation cycle here. We're doing very Rumiko Takarashi's, inspired work here. And then, as I said, he doesn't want, like, she wants to know more, but Matsuri, of course, does not want her around Garaku right now, because she's thinking literally, like, what's going to happen? Like, oh my God, you waited for 150 years for me? Oh, my love, I love you so dearly. Like, and the way he's thinking about this is not necessarily unfounded, right? Like you could see that being the case. So I fully understand why Matsuri feels this way, and then so he tries to come up with any excuse, and he's just like, I need to run some errands, so we can't talk to Garaku today. And then he ends up, I need girly clothes. Like, I'm a girl, I should get girly clothes. And I'm like, what's going on with you? And Rio tags along, of course, and they try out a bunch of outfits. Now, one of the things I really did like is because Rio's sort of like a gearhead. She's a little bit, got that, not exactly Winry, because Winry's a far better character, but sort of that gearhead mentality of, here's the way she looks at the world. And I like the way that Rio explains this, is that, to be honest, it doesn't matter if Matsuri is a boy or a girl. I can go for either. What's important is the CPU. What's inside that counts. I would have preferred them to end the line on what's important is the CPU. They didn't need to explain it away. The inside is what counts. Like, we were supposed to sort of figure that out on our own. That's what she means. What is important, because she's a gearhead. She's a computer nerd. Her idea is it doesn't matter what the outer casing of your computer looks like. Doesn't matter what the color is. Doesn't matter what the what the shape is. Doesn't matter if it's badass or cool, if it's blue LEDs or red LEDs or what have you. What matters is what's your processor, what's your CPU, what's inside. It's the guts that make up your computer. It's not the sort of like the engine makes up the truck, right? So she sort of spelled it out for us, and I was sort of like, you could have left it to us readers. I mean, it's pretty blatant, and it would have been nicer for us to have that implication rather than, But Suzu feels the same way and stuff. And Matsuri is very weirded out by trying on women's clothing. So Ryo brings out this determination scent incense machine that makes her completely confident to try on the most girly of clothing possible, and she keeps getting more and more girly. At first, it's a style that really works, the boyish look, and honestly, this look works. This is sort of the idea I would do for a tomboyish character. If I were to draw one, I would draw them, the loose-fitting clothing, still girls' clothes, but more like, all right, she's ready to go to the beach, but at the same time, she can get into a fist fight sort of idea, right? She can get down in the dirt, play soccer, do whatever you want, right? So that suits really right off the bat. Then we go to very summer dress stuff. This does not fit her at all, and Suzu even says as such. Then they go the gothic route, like we're doing Misa Amane from Death Note sort of look here, and I never got the gothic aesthetic. Why do people like the gothic Lolita thing? Why do people like that? It's never been for me. I've never cared for it. I don't get why people are into that. Too many frills, too dark, too I want to be a vampire trapped in a human body and I'm weird sort of vibe that I always got from that. And then they straight up go Soul Leader Magical Girl. And it's like, okay. And Suzu and Shirogane are even there in the background going, what the hell is this? Like what are we doing here? So she's getting super determined and such. But unfortunately, because of the incense, she was just trying on everything. And Ryo ended up putting in like some lingerie sort of stuff. And so both Ninokuru, Suzu, Shirogane, who's been calling Ryo a pervert this entire time, goes, shameless, absolutely, utterly shameless. And it's because she came out wearing nothing but like the frilliest lingerie, sort of skimpy underwear, female underwear and stuff. And Ryo's like, I thought I'd try it on him. But of course, the incense sort of wore off when Ninokuru showed up, killing an Ayakashi and some such. And so she's all like, oh my god, no, I'm still this isn't me, and sort of idea. So that's sort of where the chapter ends. It's sort of like a fluff chapter. It's just like hilarity ensues, situation, the scent and hilarity ensues. It's one of those. The thing is, I would love these chapters if we actually had a main plot. Like, we do have a semi-main plot, but we seem 70 to 80% of this manga has been fluff chapters. It's been villain of the week. It's been romance, comedy, hilarity ensues sort of idea. And not that that's bad, but I would like it to be more of an even split. At the very least. I'd like a 50-50 split, So for me, this was a good chapter, but I am disappointed that we aren't continuing onto a line of major plot. That's sort of but I think now we're over 30 chapters in. I think I really need to get behind the fact that what we expected and what the assumption of this series and what it was going to be and what it currently is going to be two different things. And I think I just need to accept that. 30 chapters in, it's not looking like it's going to go the way that I wanted, but I still love the art style. I like the characters and such. So I'll continue reviewing. I'll continue reading this series. But I am disappointed in the fact that this had potential to have more arc style plot lines. That's all. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As I said, I enjoyed the chapter. The chapter was fine, but it just, for me personally, I'm just sort of still sort of hoping for that main plot sort of style, right? So that being said, though, like, comment, and subscribe as always. Don't forget, we're getting to 500 subscribers, not 3, not 4, but 500 subscribers in the month of March. So look forward to that, and we'll be doing a milestone video in the first week of April if we hit that milestone, of course. But I have confidence in us, ladies and gentlemen. I have confidence that we can reach there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Drink responsibly as always, and we will see you back here next time for chapter 34 of Ayakashi Triangle. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. See you next time.